sounding like you. I mean, this is way deeper, right? So, so then obviously the other alternative is that Agent 1 goes through the steps to become Agent 2, and then what we get as a product is Agent 1, who has gone through a training to become Agent 2, literally. So whatever the steps are that any trainee fresh off the street would have to go through to become an agent of Agency 1, Agent 2 goes through exactly those same steps. And where there is overlap, where there are redundancies because they've satisfied, you know, the physical fitness part, or they've satisfied some intellectual assessment test that's standardized that everybody takes, clearly you're not going to have them take the same test twice. But there has to be, in order for us to make delineations between agencies, things that are within this training that are specific to just that agency. Put that agent through those trainings, and now you got like a super agent, right? You got an agent that has expertise in both. And now we can really truly talk about interagency coordination, because now it's not the coordination of a physical environment. We've started our coordination and this assessment, this fusion within the person, and that's as deep for me. The reason why I thought of it is that's as deep as it gets. You can't get any deeper than that unless you want to start talking about consciousness and mind. But I'm not going to talk about that, right? So I told you I was going to get pretty heavy with it. So I hope that made sense. I feel like it makes sense. There's pictures, so it should make sense. Yeah, it's pretty radical. It's pretty radical, though. So underneath that, I just have Agent 2-1. Obviously, 2-1 is sort of my shorthand for an agent who was primarily 2, but went through the training of both 2 and 1 after 2. Has roughly the same skill set as Agent 1-2. If you think about it, right? The skill set of Agent 2-1 is roughly the same as the skill set of Agent 1-2. However, the only variation is the emphasis, right? The emphasis of the initial training. So if I go through FBI first, and I go from a trainee to an FBI agent, then I'm sort of rooted in the FBI agency. And I don't know, this is me throwing it out conceptually. I don't know if this might never happen, but imagine that this does happen, and the government says, no, this would be useful. Maybe it's a process that you're selected for, you don't really request. It's sort of like, appointment type stuff. And they come knocking at my door, they're like, hey, Jay, hey, you want to be a CIA agent too? Shit, sign me up. So I go through that process. My emphasis is always going to be, my home is always going to be, well, I was first an FBI agent. I'm sort of loyal to that. I'm loyal to all, but I'm loyal to that. And yeah, I have this additional expertise because I've gone through the CIA training. The whole point isn't to be like FBI, CIA. When you actually start to talk about the agencies, it starts to lose its emphasis. It's not so much about being in the FBI, the DOD, the CIA, the whatever, as it is having the individual human body and mind go through both experiences. There's some stuff that you can teach all day long, but until you go through it, you really don't have an assessment. There's that great scene in the movie Outbreak with Cuba Gooding Jr. and I want to say Dennis Hoffman, and Cuba Gooding Jr. is he's like the alpha nerd, like me, right? So he's reading the books, he's all in it, he's studying 24/7, and he's super smart, and he's like, oh, I know, malaria is going to look like this, and boils are going to look like that, and Hoffman tells him, listen, when you get off the plane, and you land on the ground, and you see that first person dying of whatever, it's a whole different ballgame. Oh, no, I got it, I'm going to be fine, I'm going to be fine. Then he goes out there and he sees it, and he's like, blah, he yaks, right? It's like that. You need that experience, right? So to put the person through 2 different trainings produces at the end someone who has something that you can't write it. They have it's a phenomenological, existential. They have a lived experience of having gone through 2 of these very rigorous trainings. These trainings are put in place to create agents. So having successfully gone through both really embeds this idea of interagency, not within some department or within some policy. It embeds the idea of interagency within the person. It cannot get deeper than that. That is conceptually as deep as it gets, right? So, you know, I'm throwing my 2 cents out there. It took me a long time to figure that out, but, you know, hopefully that helps whoever. Okay.